Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming back. First and foremost, happy holidays to you. If you do celebrate Christmas, happy Christmas to you. Otherwise, whatever it is that you're celebrating, even if it's just time off of work or time with your family, I wish you a wonderful time. We have come to an end of a year, and I have been inspired to record a message. I will tell you in the actual video where it came from, but bottom line is I would like to leave this message for you also as a thank you for being part of my channel, and you being part of my channel is why I even exist, not in terms of human, but in terms of my work. If it wasn't for you, well, I wouldn't have an audience. So thank you so much for all of you, for those of you who are listening, for all of you who are my clients, and for all of those of you who are going to perhaps meet with me and become my clients. Thank you so much as well. Before I move on with the message, the 2019 messages are ready. If you would like to receive a promotional code that I have implemented for those videos, go sign up on my site, www.joannademedium.com, and you will receive a welcome letter with a coupon code for Vimeo's, for the Vimeo videos. And that is good until the end of this year. So again, go sign up on my website and you will receive the coupon code right away. Just check your inbox, perhaps junk inbox, if you don't have it in your regular email, because sometimes it goes there. Okay, and I think that's all I want to say. I wish you again wonderful holidays. Thank you again so much. Happy New Year. And let's go on with the message. Hello everyone. Thank you so much for coming back. My name is Joanna. I was inspired to record a message from the universe to us at the end of the year to inspire us to move forward in a way that perhaps is going to be, sparkled with beautiful experiences. And what sparked this for me, or the idea of recording this video, is that I was at the gym listening to my podcast as I always do, and a song came on that made me feel very teary. And this was not an emotion out of sadness, but it was an emotion out of recognition. And the words were, "We're born to love." And the moment I heard that, it right away gave me an idea that I need to record a video that is about the idea of us being born to love. And we all search for love in some way, shape, or form. And what I'm inspired to say is that it's a great time of year to look at our life and see how love shows up in our life, or how perhaps there is no love in our life. And if there are any struggles in terms of happiness and love, perhaps to understand more deeply how we can find more love or beautiful experiences in our life. When it comes to love, love experienced in various ways. We have love to humans, we have love to animals, we have love to plants. We love many things. Most of all, we want to be loved, and we want to belong, and we want to be taken care of. We want to feel safe and secure. And the message I received was that the level of love that we are experiencing towards ourselves from the universe is directly related to how we love ourselves. And I began to think about this, and I began to think about my experiences and the various experiences of my clients, and it became very apparent to me that that actually is true. So for any of us who are wanting more love in our life, let's look at how love shows up in our life already, and let's make a commitment to ourselves to attract more of the same. If there are any areas where love is missing, whether it is lack of friendships, lack of abundance, lack of whatever it may be, lack of love in your life, lack of partnership, perhaps noticing how that relates in terms of how we love ourselves. So how do you show up in the world in terms of love? How do you love yourself? Can you see how the way you love or not love yourself is showing up in your experiences? Do you believe that you are worthy? And if so, notice how the level of your worthiness is corresponding directly to the worthiness that life offers to you. If you are struggling financially, for example, and it has been a theme for you for quite some time, perhaps you are one of those individuals that is always on a quest of making money, but the moment you have it, it disappears. If that is the case, and if money doesn't stick to you, perhaps notice what is it inside of you that in terms of worthiness seems to be fleeting. In other words, do you feel worthy of receiving? Do you feel worthy of having more than what you already have? And if not, why is it so? Where does it come from? And most importantly, do you choose to continue to believe the same thing? The word choice is an interesting word used here because no one would choose not to be loved. So when I do talk about choice, I am talking more of the subconscious choice, which is driven, well, by our subconscious needs and our subconscious desires. Oftentimes, our needs and desires are met with things we don't want. In other words, a lot of our needs and desires are rooted in the idea of lack. So, again, to bring it back to the main reason why I wanted to record this message is the question to ask ourselves at this time is, how do we show up in the world? How do you show up in the world in terms of love? How do you love yourself? How does loving yourself reflect back to you at the world? How do you love your pets? How do you take care of your family? How do you take care of your body? How do you take care of what goes into your body, what you feed your body? This is not only feeding food. This is feeding yourself with substance. It's feeding yourself with sugar addiction. It's feeding yourself with toxic relationships, feeding yourself with negative thoughts, and feeding yourself with negative patterns and negative people in your life. Drama, for example. Those are all the things that will eventually either appreciate how much you love yourself more or depreciate the love you have for yourself. In terms of negativity, notice where you spend your energy that perhaps when you looked at it more closely, you determine that it actually doesn't serve you. Anything that you do, and you do it because, I'm going to rephrase it, anything that you do in terms of negative. Now, what does that mean? Okay, if we continue a negative pattern, we will continually get the same results. So the idea here is notice your patterns, particularly the ones that are difficult to break. Many of us would deem these habits as negative. I'd like to think of these things as not either positive or negative, but habits that either produce the results that inspire us or feed us, or results that prevent us from being better or prevent us from being whole. So notice where you spend your energy. What people do you have around you that suck your energy dry? On the other hand, if you're one who is not used to receiving, perhaps notice how your lack of receiving or your lack of trust is preventing you from receiving love. If you do not trust another to love you, chances are you don't trust yourself enough in being a magnificent human being to have respect for yourself, not to put yourself in situations that are detrimental to you. So take this time of the year, perhaps, and notice if there are any aspects of you that need polishing or shining up. The level of your satisfaction in your financial sector will correspond directly to the level of abundance you feel about you in your current state. If you are, for example, struggling with a situation and you're smack in the middle of it, whatever it may be, whether it's a health condition, whether it's a difficulty you have with a friend, whether you're having a spat with a spouse, whatever it is difficult for us often to accept things that are wrong, things that are bad, things that are not working, things that are uncomfortable. However, sometimes we have no choice but to accept what is. So the message here is, let's look at our life and let's see where we can spend less time fighting what is and instead putting our energies somewhere where we can build something much more substantial. If you are one who is wanting to attract love, ask yourself, what can I do to love another? How can you contribute to the world by giving love unconditionally? One of my meditations in the last couple of weeks, when I sat down, I had this urge to ask Mother Earth, what can we do to help Mother Earth to be grateful? And the answer really surprised me, and I'm going to share this with you. So I'm going to preface this by saying I love animals, but the answer that came was be kind to all animals. And I thought, so it's not less pollution, it's not less toxicity, it's not less whatever, it's be kind to all animals. And then I asked further for a clarification, and what I received was that when we become aware of another being as a being that is of as much of an importance as we are, we begin to appreciate life in different forms. This gives us the ability to create harmonious relationships with another, with an animal, for example. So in terms of being kind to all animals, when we put a conscious effort and focus on being kind to an animal on the street, or being kind to your own animal, or even noticing what connections you have to animals, and noticing if what your belief is around an animal in terms of its importance in having a life or having existence. So notice how that reflects back in your life. I'm an animal lover, like I said, so to me it comes naturally. If each and every one of us could make a promise to ourselves for the next several weeks to be conscious of how we are kind to other animals. And you may not have any animals around you, but just sending healing thoughts to animals who have no home, animals who live in shelters, animals who are on the streets and they're walking around and hungry. I am being asked to say that this is of utmost importance, because what it does, it creates a conscious awareness of projecting love to something that we feel needs it and is as worthy of life as we are. If every individual participated in this exercise, our evolution would eventually shift to the point that we would not recognize ourselves. In other words, each and every individual contributes to the shift of consciousness. And if we all become aware of the existence of other beings on this planet, in terms of importance, that everything is just as important as the next person, we begin to cultivate consciousness of appreciation and consciousness of gratitude. I think that's all I'm going to say. This is a good time, being an end of a year, to perhaps spend some time and notice how we show up in the world in terms of loving ourselves, which translates into how we are being loved, and also how we love others. And with that said, I think that's how I want to leave it. I wish you wonderful holidays. If you celebrate Christmas, I wish you amazing Christmas. Thank you so much for watching this. It's one of those spur of the moment messages. I hope you like it. If you feel that you would like more messages like these without any cards, but just me channeling what Spirit wants to communicate, by all means, please comment below, and I would love to do that. Okay, thank you so much once again. Merry Christmas to you, everybody. Thank you so much for participating in my work by being on my channel. I wish you best of luck and see you soon.